Hey, how's it going there, guys? So, I thought it would be a good idea to make a course about Claude and Blender and making the scene. So, I actually made this scene a while ago. I think back in 2021, I made this scene, and the scene was Sunsets is Better with You. It kind of had a meaning about it. So, I thought it would be a good idea, like the sun in the background, a chair sitting here. It kind of gave like a feel like sunsets is always better with you, kind of thing. But I made this scene manually, and I thought let's try and make this scene but using Claude and see how much faster we can make the scene. So essentially, I'm just going to close that out, and I'm going to make sure my Blender scene is open. So whenever you open Blender, you should have like a screen here. Just click to the right and move around. And then now we can go back to Claude. We can find our image. So you will probably have it in the files there. And we're just going to say, hi Claude. We start with hi Claude. I currently have Blender open and I would like to make this scene. Let's break it up into different parts and let's break it up into different parts and go from there. Ask me a few questions before we get started, and that should be good. So basically, you kind of told Claude, like, let's split this up into different parts so it makes it easier for it to make it instead of making it all in one go. And then we're just going to ask it to ask us some questions to make sure we're getting what we want. So I'm just going to click enter, and it's going to read through this. So Claude likes the vibe, style, low poly style. So I'm going to say so one, style, realistic. And then for two, let's go with camera angle, camera angle, camera angle, same POV. Then we're going to type in for three, what's the complexity? Do you want the full scene shot, structure, sand, HDR, should I tackle it in modular stage? Let's do it in modular stages. And then 4, the sky background sunset. Do you have a HDRI for this, or should I make a fake one with a plane? So let's just tell it to make a fake one and then we can edit it from there. So I have one, but let's make a fake one and then I will edit it later. So you guys might have different questions, but they should roughly stay around the same, like the style, the camera angle, and different type of things like that. So your answers might be different, but it's good to look at the scene and then go for what you are trying to make. So this is essentially how I answer these questions. I always say 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then go over the exact questions asking and read it and say what I want. So I'm just going to type that in now and let it give me an answer. So one more question before stage 1. What version of Blender are you on? Just so I nail the correct API calls. I believe I'm on 5.1. Let's just double check. 5.1.2. So we can check at the bottom right here. If you don't see that, you can just right click on this tab here and then Blender version and scene statistics. All these three are pretty necessary to like read triangles and all that kind of thing. So I'm gonna go back to Claude and just say 5.1.2. And then it's going to say perfect. And then let's see. So it's going to start making the sand floor now. And then I'm going to cut this part because sometimes it takes a while. And then I'm going to catch you guys back here once it's done. Okay, so we're back. So it actually just finished off and let's see what it's done. So, okay, so we're back. So as you can see, Claude finished up and actually did a render for us. So let's see how it looks. I mean, it's not great. I mean, it was our first prompt, so not too bad. I mean, it added sand, it added the pillars and all that kind of stuff. Let's open up our scene. So it's a pretty good start. Like, we just need to add more like denoiser to match the scene. That's pretty easy to do. it added a lot of this stuff, the pellets, or like the bars, the wood. So this is easy. This is a good start. Instead of us having to place everything or doing array modifiers, we can essentially just edit it from here. Let's go ahead and go back into Claude now, after we've seen our scene, and see what it says. So the viewport is showing solid shading mode. The sunset backdrop is there but hidden. It's going to ask a few things before we add the rocking chair. Backdrop plane needs to be visible through the doorway. It's currently sitting behind the back wall, but scale position needs tweaking. The walls need extended further back, closed properly. Want me to fix the geometry issues now, then move on to stage 4, the rocking chair? Or should we do the quick cycles preview? No, let's just go ahead and before we go on to the next thing, I think let's just fix what we have. Let's go ahead and fix what we currently have. The wooden wall in the front is not right. It's solid. We need solid. We need to make it wooden planks. The sand also needs a denoiser. I'm gonna spell this very wrong, but luckily Claude will know what I'm saying. Basically, it's a denoiser. So that it is more bumpy. Let's go ahead with these changes first. I'm just going to enter that and then continue there. Then we fix up our first scene. So it's going to do that now, and then I'll get back to you as soon as this is done. Okay, cool. So we're back. Claude has a few questions for us, but as you can see, it actually added the front planks like we wanted. The doorway is a bit big, but we can fix that manually. Let's go back into Claude and see what it says. Subdivisions, displacement, work with. Looking better. Connor. Doorway gap cut through. The ceilings will too. Two things I noticed next. The planks on the back wall are running the wrong way. Horizontal. They should be vertical like the reference. Let me actually just double check the reference. See what we've got here. So I'm going to double click it and open it. Vertical. I don't think that's right. The sand is still flat in the viewport. Displacement only shows in cycles. That's normal. Want me to flip the wall planks vertical and do that quick, or cycles preview so we can see what's actually going on? I think I will just go into cycles manually instead of using my Claude points. So I'm just going to go into cycles. So if you go here to this render, cycles, CPU, just change it to GPU. And then all you have to do is hold in Z, just hold in Z and go to rendered. Let's see if we can actually see our displacement. So there is displacement. It's not much. Let me see. Yeah, you can see there's displacement. It should be under here. If we go to, we should see our displacement somewhere here. I think we might have to go into our shading tab. So if we go to the top here by shading, we can go into rendered mode again, and then we can see our bump threshold here. So essentially, it needs to actually add like a noise modifier, basically it's like a texture that we have to add. But you can see by changing this, it changes like how the sand looks. So essentially, we need to add a noise texture. The noise texture, where is this noise texture? I don't think it's added a noise texture yet. Let's check here. Okay, so we'll probably end up adding a noise texture in the next video, but this is just the start of, basically it's just our first video, going through like making the first bit of it. The next thing we'll have to do is the chair. Obviously the sun is not great, so we'll have a HDRI there, and then we'll do some manual work, but getting the basis in so we can actually speed up our process of doing manual work. But alrighty, I'll see you guys in the next one.